Good morning, good afternoon, whichever time of day it is that you happen to be watching this. Welcome to our gathering, online virtual gathering on this weekend of March 15th, 2020, when we have chosen, and in the interest of public safety, to not meet together in person, but I feel compelled to bring you greetings. Perhaps you will be tuning into this and watching this at the appointed hour of our worship. Most Sundays, perhaps it will be something to see at a different time, whatever happens to work for you. I want to welcome all of you who are not present at our Unitarian Universalist Church this morning, but are here in spirit, in virtual reality. I want to begin this short reflection by reading to you a favorite reading of mine that has been on my mind a lot these days by Robert Walsh. When the great plates slip and the earth shivers and the flaw is seen to lie in what you trusted most, look not to more solidity, to weighty slabs of concrete poured on it or strength of cantilevered beam to save the fractured order. Trust more the tensile strands of love that bend and stretch to hold you in the web of life that's often torn, but always healing. The shifting plates, the rest of earth, your room, your precious life, they all proceed from love, the ground on which we walk together. Like I imagine many of you, I've been spending quite a bit of time these last couple days as we've been sort of quarantined or totally quarantined in our particular situations. I've been spending a lot of time putzing around on the computer and online and on phones and all this, and hearing a lot and reading a lot and reflecting a lot on the current situation with the novel coronavirus altering our lives in just about every way imaginable. And some of that's good, some of that's bad, and what I'm hoping to do with this or these video messages that I might be making in the coming weeks is maybe offer something outside of that. Maybe there's too much of that. Maybe like me, some of you are feeling a little overwhelmed by all of it and need some escape from that. And I appreciate that and respect that. But I want to say a few words at this first message, kind of relating to that, but I hope not sticking there. And my reflection, I want to begin by relating to you online. I saw one of these fake little headlines that was kind of funny of a fake news report, obviously intentionally fake news report. Something about showed a picture of a teenage boy sitting at a computer with earphones on and a phone and everything, and said, "Nation's nerds wake up in utopia where everyone stays inside, sports are canceled, and social interaction is forbidden." And that really struck out at me when I read that. Is first of all, as a parent of a teen myself, a teen who maybe fits some of the stereotypes of the kind of, or maybe I should say I fit the kind of stereotypes as a parent who is always trying to urge my teen to get out more and go play outside and not spend so much screen time and all of that kind of thing. And now here we are. Schools have been officially closed or officially closing next week for several weeks, and it just so happens to be cold and snowy this weekend when this hits, and suddenly I find myself kind of troubled by my own messages. Am I just supposed to accept and this new normal of just staying inside and very minimal social interaction? And so it's a challenge for being a parent, I think. And I also think that in the same way, it's a challenge for a religious community. In some ways, what we are being told now, and I don't want to underscore the seriousness of what we are being told by public health authorities and others, but it's a challenge to many, if not almost all of the things that we hold dear as a religious community. We are being told that the things that we do when we gather and clasp hands and hug and when we have close proximity and spend time together as real human beings and not just online glued to one screen or another or anything, that this is something that I think that we have as a prime value in religious community and liberal religious and Unitarian Universalist religious communities, and now suddenly we're having to adapt to maybe that isn't what. Sorry, I got interrupted there. I'm not a high-tech person, as high-tech a person as I need to be. But I was saying that what it comes down to is that reading Robbie Walsh words about the tinsel strands of love is which we're all about in religious community. And even sometimes those kind of feel like, well, if I can't reach out and touch someone, if I can't be together with someone in person, can I still trust those tinsel strands of love that hold us in this web of life? And you know, if you're like me, you're not a fan of trying to substitute in-person gatherings and interactions with things online and stuff like that. It leaves me at the end of the day feeling kind of like I'm missing something profound, and so I yearn for that ability to connect on that level. But that's not really all that religious community is all about. Religious community is really about faith too. And even though we can easily just spend our time during these kind of involuntary or voluntary quarantines just being by ourselves and being alone and everything, which is not bad. The introverts of the world might be rejoicing at this point. I don't know, but it's not bad. But by itself, it's not complete. But we still can fall back on the real hard and essential pieces of our faith, which is love and belief, as Samwise said to Frodo at the siege of Osgiliath, that there is good in the world, and we do hold on to that essential belief that there is good, there is a reason to be together, to want to be together, even if we can't be together today or at this particular place or at this particular time that we have grown accustomed to. We still can believe that there's a reason to be together. So that's what my message is for us this weekend, today, and I hope to, if this situation continues, that I'll be continuing to make more messages and things. But I just want to share with you something that probably most of you sitting at home, looking at your computers and stuff, have coincidentally stumbled across one way or another. It's a poem by Unitarian Universalist minister Lynn Ungar, Reverend Lynn Ungar, who many of you know because some years ago served as a congregation out in Moscow, Idaho for a while, is now a minister with the Church of Larger Fellowship. And she wrote this poem just last week called Pandemic. And it was one of those things, as they say, and I think this is an ironic word these days, but it's gone viral on the internet. I actually saw it the second time I saw it. It came from my cousin in Delaware, who's a Presbyterian minister, and which I thought was so interesting that here I am, my Presbyterian minister cousin is posting poems by Unitarian Universalist ministers. But I want to read this poem today. We'll post it on our Facebook page and website as well. But I want to read Lynn's poem today because it's such a timely reminder of how we maintain faith in these challenging times. So I'm going to close with this, Pandemic by the Reverend Lynn Ungar. What if you thought of it as the Jews consider the Sabbath, the most sacred of times? Cease from travel, cease from buying and selling, give up just for now on trying to make the world different than it is. Sing, pray, touch only those to whom you commit your life. Center down. And when your body has become still, reach out with your heart. Know that we are connected in ways that are terrifying and beautiful. You can hardly deny that now. Know that our lives are in one another's hands. Surely that has come clear. Do not reach out your hands. Reach out your heart. Reach out your words. Reach out all the tendrils of compassion that move invisibly where we cannot touch. Promise this world your love, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, so long as we all shall live. Blessings to you all.